Pete Moore back on Halo Talks NYC on location, Las Vegas, Tropicana. I'm here with Tammy and Don Murphy from Newburgh, also heading into Middletown, New York, Gold's Gym franchisees. Welcome to the Halo Talks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Excellent. So I actually know Don's mom for a long time from being I've been in the industry since 1999.
Wow.
So I know the whole evolution of Gold's up in outside of New York City. So why don't you talk a little bit about the family business and basically taking over the family business? That always has its pros and cons and roller coaster-ish rides to it. And then you and Tammy partnering up and getting married and then deciding to do a business venture together. So tell our audience about that.
Awesome. Thanks, Pete. So, yeah, I've been fortunate, blessed, and really happy to have been basically raised in the fitness industry. Mom opened up her first gym back in 1984. I was in high school. And through the years, she and her former business partner owned and operated numerous Gold's gyms between New York and Connecticut. I've always been part of the business in terms of having part-time jobs when I was in college and being a personal trainer and working the front desk and selling memberships, so on and so forth. And it wasn't until about 2001 that I decided to really jump into the deep end and say, hey, Mom, I'd love to really follow in your footsteps if that was possible. And she said, fair enough, you're going to start on the bottom and you're going to learn everything there is about the business and earn the respect of your peers and work your way up. And so we now have evolved to become a health and fitness Gold's Gym mecca, if you will, in Gold's Gym Newburgh, an award-winning facility. And I'm very fortunate to have met Tammy 7 years ago, who comes from, she'll share her background and where she comes from, but we've done a lot of really great things together already in the fitness industry ourselves, through both personal and different business endeavors, but now we are teaming up to bring a phenomenal Gold's Gym to Middletown, New York.
That's great. So Tammy, why don't you give your background?
I'm actually a chartered accountant from Nova Scotia, Canada.
Wow.
And
welcome to the fitness big leagues.
Thank you. Yeah, around the age of 30, I headed off to Bermuda, the Isle of Man, the Cayman Islands. So I did the whole offshore thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Landed at a hedge fund in Manhattan. And I met Don on Match.com.
There you go. I met my girlfriend on Match.com also.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So fast forward, we've had 2 children. We have a 4-year-old and we have a 15-month-old.
Oh,
and I didn't go
tough.
back to the finance world after the last child. So I remember when I first met Don, I said, you're an aerobics instructor? Now, I had come out of a world.
That's what she thought.
I had come out of a fantasy land with actuaries and accountants and lawyers and so coming
You must have been
coming
very
back
refreshing
on shore.
from your average button up, like, hey, what do you think this tax code's going to be for that? You're like, talk to me about aerobics.
So yeah, now I'm fully immersed in it. I went through my own personal journey. I have an autoimmune disorder called Hashimoto's. It's hypothyroidism. It's very common among many women in the U.S. So I obviously it was a very debilitating fatigue. It was impacting my marriage, even though it was a very early marriage, and was able to put that in check through a series of fitness and, more importantly, nutrition.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
Right. So I did NASM. I'm a NASM personal trainer just to bring some credibility coming in from the finance world, obviously, into this new industry. I have my NASM nutrition, and I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition
Do you think
practitioner.
you're the only person in the industry who has an NASM and a CPA acronym after your title?
Yeah,
There can't be that many people,
I actually
right?
have an animal behavior training, too. Don laughs
Really?
at me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty awesome. I'm like,
This will be segment
we're gonna
2
have a
of this
gym.
will be-
We're gonna have a gym that offers you tax services and dog training school and cooking classes.
This is a revenue per member play right now. So we're going to offer you the Gold's Gym. That's like the teaser pricing. But
Right.
what we're really trying to do is do therapy for your pet on a monthly basis. Excellent. So welcome to the fitness industry.
Thank you.
From an accounting standpoint, it's slightly behind the offshore banking, but probably very easy to understand after you get deep into it. And but the reporting, I think you guys use ABC, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Many
so
years.
at least the reporting in this industry is much better than it used to be. So you're walking in at a good time from a number standpoint, asking the right questions and actually getting answers.
Yes,
and I guess I'll find out about that very soon. Middletown's targeted for a December opening, so it's not that far away.
Yeah, I was telling Don that I went to summer camp up an hour north of Middletown, outside of Port Jervis, and we used to go. Middletown was where we went for our day off. So we went to the Middletown movies, and then we stayed at this. There was like a Best Western or something on like right off the highway. It overlooked everything.
Yeah.
So that's nice. So I know Middletown, and I remember that there was a guy who used to have a Gold's Gym in Middletown. So you're filling that void in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually a bit of a story, because I know there are some people who are a little disappointed with kind of what happened with Gold's Gym in Middletown. And originally, they had a good gym there for many years. It was operated by a great guy. I know him, Bob Roach. But, one thing led to another, and it just got to a point where he eventually decided to shut down the business, and it kind of left a void for Gold's Gym in that area. And another franchisee stepped up and attempted to open a location off Dunning Road. And for personal reasons, extenuating to where he was from in Egypt, a Revolutionary War broke out about 5 years ago, if many might remember that, and it tied up his funding. It tied up the money that he was going to use to finish the project, and he was forced to walk away. And unfortunately, what happened was Gold's Gym, there was a bit of a slip in that there was not a lot of transparency or communication back to the community as to what happened.
So just like it looked like there's a Gold's Gym perpetually under construction?
Exactly, and we weren't aware of that. We stayed focused on Newburgh and did a huge multi-million-dollar renovation and expansion there in the past 3 years, and so we didn't really pay much attention to Middletown, even though we knew that the market had kind of become open again. And then last year we decided to go out and just see like what happened with the Gold's Gym out there. And when we pulled up to the building and saw the sign on the building, it was like, why is the sign still on the building out here? And made the call to corporate, and they said, yeah, that kind of died off about 4 years ago. And I said, well, the sign is still on the building, and it had slipped through the cracks. And so we talked about it, and we decided to say, let's find the right spot and bring a world-class gym.
You didn't go into the same spot that the sign was on?
No, we were attempting to go in there for a period of time, and then we walked away from the project at one point because there was another gym slated for the Galleria Mall in Middletown.
Oh, okay.
And when we learned of that, we just said, nah, there's
Golds or non-Golds?
It was a non-Golds gym, and that actually fell through as well. And that's when Pyramid approached us in Newburgh to say, hey, we'd really like Gold's Gym to consider coming in. And at first, we weren't too keen on the idea of being in a mall, because like, who wants to go to the mall to go to the gym? That was my first feeling. But then
I think historically it's like that. But
so Tammy and I went. We went and met, and we were just really impressed with Pyramid as a company and their vision for the future of that mall and what they're doing, and the fact that for the gym space, we have our own parking lots, we have our own exterior entrance, so you don't have to feel like you're going to the mall when you go to the gym. Yeah,
there's a very successful one in Jersey that the Jersey Strong guys did in Menlo Park.
Yes.
But when they did it, they were nervous because it was at the back of the mall, and but they had their own parking, and it was kind of a basement space, so I got a good rent deal. But I think there's going to be more and more opportunities that are thrown at fitness operators because these malls need the foot traffic.
Exactly.
And they used to like in the lease agreement, a lot of companies would prohibit gyms or health clubs from coming in, even like Target or Walmart, because they thought they would take up all the parking spots. Now they want them next to them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so you're going into an old Sears? You said?
Yes, the upper level of what was formerly Sears. It's the total amount of square footage is about 54,000 square feet.
Oh, that's a big takedown, yeah.
It's a very large gym. It's longer than a football field with an indoor track. It's going to have an enclosed rooftop cardio area. So it's really going to be unique in terms of the scope of the amenities, services, and programs that we offer. And I think what makes Tammy and I unique in what we're bringing is obviously the Gold's Gym brand. We love everything about it, and we can talk about that, but what Tammy's bringing is something that was very eye-opening to me as a club owner and operator for many years when it comes to nutrition. And the fact that fitness and being healthy and fit is not just about going in to lift some weights or get on some gym equipment. It's really about taking a look at your entire lifestyle in terms of not only exercise, but your nutrition. And that's, Tammy can share more of what she's learned that has just completely transformed how we're approaching our members and the services that we're providing for them to really, truly become healthy and fit.
Yeah, I think, one of the main things we're trying to promote is really to be the CEO of your own health, take control. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. And obviously we've dabbled with some things with members. I think there's still an opportunity there. Gold's Care, I just came from a session, very, very cutting edge, fantastic way forward, I think, for the brand. But I think, there's still a lot of trial and error in the nutrition world. A lot of people are scared to talk about it. And a lot of people aren't educated. They have no idea even how to read a label. There's behavior change is a big component. You may want to, but how do you change the behavior around it? It's the same as any kind of bad habit, I guess.
I was just reading, I just saw this Netflix episode. I'm trying to think which one it was. They basically took people for like 6 weeks who were basically, about to die. And they said, okay, look, we're going to bring back animal food, we're going to eat meat. We're going to eat, we're going to eat a healthy
earthborne foods,
vegetables and this and that. And they had like kids who were addicted to like Doritos and, started putting them on just like what you would put on your plate, meat and potatoes and like real meals. And 6 weeks later they did a test and
these
people
keto?
don't eat.
Was this the ketogenic?
Yeah.
I just ran a program actually on ketogenics, which is, that's really cutting edge to put something like that out in your club. For credibility, I used my functional doctor. So he and I teamed up and we ran 10 people through it just as a trial.
Yeah.
The results were outstanding. We used Gold 3D breath tests to track ketone levels, called Level. And the results were just outstanding.
Mind-blowing.
We lowered triglycerides. We took diabetic down to pre-diabetic. Fatty, non-alcoholic fatty liver was completely corrected. Sleep apnea. In 12 weeks, it made a huge difference on these 10 people.
I was saying somebody this morning on another podcast that I watch all these pharmaceutical ads and it's like 20 seconds of like what it does and then 40 seconds of like side effects.
Exactly.
Like you're going to be suicidal. You're going to hate all your friends that used to be your friends. You're going to not be able to sleep.
That's right.
And it's like, why don't you go? Okay, the first thing it should say is like, go to the gym for like 6 weeks, get a nutritionist. And then if that doesn't work, then replay this ad. Maybe that's what they should do. Well, I would love to do like pharma versus fitness.
It's such a missing component to the health club industry. Nutrition is like for us, it's the next real big thing that has to become such a huge component to our member onboarding. Like people have to just learn how to eat the right way with foods that our ancestors ate from the land, and just get away from all the processed crap that's
sugars,
out there. It's killing people.
It doesn't have to be difficult either. You don't really need a registered dietitian to be able to give some kind of basic guidance. You're not prescribing anything. But another exciting thing too we're doing in Middletown, and Don maybe can talk a little bit more about that. We're actually putting in a sports performance center. So it's a very large space carved out for youth athletics.
Perfect.
Sports teams.
Yeah. Big. It's
within the 54,000.
Within the club, there will be an enclosed area for sports performance training and general population training. We'll run these group training programs, but primarily for the athletes in the area. It'll have a turf runway that's about 43 yards long.
Perfect.
Total space of about 3,800 square feet, and we're actually teaming up with an elite sports performance trainer out of Syracuse, New York, who's going to be joining our team and heading up the growth of the trainer program there.
So you're going to do that under a separate brand, or is it a Gold's Gym?
This is part of the Gold's Gym. This will be part of our Gold's Gym facility.
I might have to come up there because I'm still undrafted as an NFL
there you
player.
Go.
I did play in high school because I had to play soccer, but I'm aspirational and I'm keeping hope.
Your calling is upon you.
Yeah, if there's a tight end that goes down in the NFL, I'm available.
We'll put you in for the 12-week program.
Yeah, 12 weeks. All right, let's do it preseason before the draft. I think the draft's like April 26th next year.
Awesome.
So you're going from one gym to two gym. You've got two new children. How are you viewing, keeping this as a family business, and how do you manage maybe for the couples in this listening to these podcasts? How do you manage saying like, okay, we're going to talk about the business until 8 p.m. and then so tell us about the real world of how this is.
It's pretty overwhelming.
Or maybe there aren't any rules yet, right?
Yeah. And there isn't. I don't think everything's still new. Obviously, me leaving finance and having the young child, and I'm still trying to figure out where I fit in. And how we're going to segregate everything up, but Donnie doesn't shut off at the moment, so we do have to work on that. No, we have it kind of divvied out. It's a great teamwork where I kind of take the children in the morning, and he comes home at a reasonable time in the evening.
I'm up and out early.
But he gets out early, so I take the responsibility in the morning. But you just have to make it work. It's the same when I was in finance, and I left the house at 7 and I returned home at 7.
Yeah, sure.
No matter what field you're in, it's trying to team up together to figure out how you can make it work as a team. I was the one up early. He was making my breakfasts, and I was out the door.
Right.
So
exactly.
now it's switched.
Yep. It's very rewarding, though, because it's something that you're just so passionate about. This isn't a job for us. I wake up every day, and I think Tammy feels the same way. We wake up, and it's just like, oh my gosh, what are we going to achieve today? How are we going to progress this further? And just seeing the construction of Middletown happen and what we know we're bringing to the community, it's not just another gym. This will be unlike any facility that has been seen in Middletown or the immediate region before. People are really going to be blown away when they walk in and see the scope of the space, the classes, the programs, the amenities that cater to literally all ages, all demographics, all fitness levels. A very warm and welcoming, community-based health and fitness environment.
And in terms of the family, too, I'm actually really proud to be able to show our two boys what we're kind of bringing to the table in terms of, making sure that they're living a healthy life and setting that great role model example as opposed to going through a grind. And no offense, I did it, but sitting behind a desk for 12 hours on a computer where you're just... for me, it's such a rewarding career as opposed to crunching numbers.
Yeah,
but hey,
I hear you.
And the kids program.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
The kids thing too is huge. Like we're going to have a huge kids component to the offering where kids are going to learn about healthy foods. They're going to learn how to exercise at an early age. It's not just going to be, drop the kids off into the kids club and have them sit around. No, there's going to be, constructive activities for the kids to really grow up in a healthy, fit environment that they can try to be like mom and dad who are going to the gym. That's leading by example.
Well, maybe do some cooking classes better than what you probably went through that I did. We used to go to I think it was called home economics was the name of the class.
Home ec.
And they taught you how to make grilled cheese.
Right.
Let's cook like a nice healthy piece of
French
chicken
toast
here.
sticks.
It's funny you mentioned
mozzarella sticks. I put them in the toaster. I'm I think I could have figured that out myself.
It's funny you mentioned that. We have had numerous people ask if we would do cooking classes. We have a kitchen. We're going to have a kitchen in the Middletown location to trial it out. Obviously not going to open it initially because it's too overwhelming to get the new gym and then venture into a new area that we're not familiar with. But
healthy food, healthy shake, big cafe area.
One of my personal initiatives over the next 5 to 10 years is to try and get, I don't know who the guy or the woman is that puts the serving sizes on the size of something, but how are there 4 servings in a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream?
I don't know.
My math table of multiply everything by 4, I can tell you that's 600 calories.
That's a lot of sugar.
That's 100. No, it's I think it's 72 grams of sugar.
And how much fat?
Times 4.
Yeah, right.
It's Netflix, Haagen-Dazs, and I gotta find I'm doing a missing persons on this serving size.
Portion fix is something.
Portion control, right? It's all portion control.
It's something we focus on. Yeah, we
do that.
We actually have a program called Portion Fix that we kind of teach. It's one of our main tools we use just because it's easy to follow and it takes people out of that kind of unportioned processed food world, and it's a stepping stone. So it's processed, looking at your main macronutrients, and it's through a company called Beachbody.
Oh yeah, sure.
So we've Don and I had been Beachbody coaches for a number of years. So a lot of the tools, to be honest with you, that we've learned in the marketing area is from stay-at-home moms. Stay-at-home moms have basically trying to make ends meet. There's many story after story after story from those moms that couldn't make ends meet. So they had to find alternative revenue sources, and they looked to Beachbody to do that.
Oh, interesting.
And to do it, they've penetrated the market very well in terms of tools
Smart.
that they use. So we learned a lot of our marketing skills. And if you saw Don's presentation where the marketing has gone down significantly, it's because of what we learned from those stay-at-home moms that were forced to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So as you look to the future, you're in an interesting time right now because you're building another club, you're building a family at the same time, and I want our listeners to understand what your personal objectives are from a standpoint. Look, you worked at a big firm and you had all these offices on the accounting side, and if you own that firm, you're on a flight and you're in an Excel spreadsheet, So how do you define success? And the reason why I'm asking that is because a lot of people come to us and they put like this 5-year Excel model in front of me. And this guy who came to me the other day, it's important I tell this story actually, comes up, meets me on the roof deck of this apartment complex I live on. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to create this $500 million company and da-da-da-da-da, but he has zero revenue now. And I just looked at him and I'm like, why don't you figure out what your personal objectives are? And then try and wrap your professional objectives around this, because you're probably not going to create a $500 million company.
Right.
So, and if you do, what's going to be different about your life that you think is not working now? So, how do you guys define the success that you're about to embark on?
For me personally, success as a health club operator is defined by how many lives can you change.
Okay.
He who changes, or he and she who change the most number of lives wins.
Nice.
And that's what it's all about. It's not focusing on numbers as much as it is literally changing the lives of people in the community. So when people come in to the front doors for the first time, there's a reason somebody steps foot into a gym.
Sure.
And our job is to identify what is that reason. So when somebody says, well, I want to lose weight. Well, why do you want to lose weight? How much weight do you want to lose? And what is the underlying reason for wanting to lose weight? And then from there, it's really peeling back the layers and then providing them not with a membership that says, good luck, go take some classes and there's our fitness equipment, but an action plan. And this is what Tammy and I really pride ourselves on. It's like really giving somebody an action plan of what to do day in and day out when you go into the gym, not only with your exercise, but also with your food.
Sure.
How much to eat, what to eat, those
so
two
who
things.
changes the most lives win. I like that. I'm going to remember that. And from your side?
It's similar, changing lives. I already would say I was successful because I feel like I've already changed one. And one is the stepping stone to many.
Sure.
So, changing lives absolutely is at the forefront of what I would define as success as well.
And she, with what she has done in these nutrition groups, I've been mind blown.
Yeah.
I've been in the industry for a long time, and I've been mind blown by what can be achieved through nutrition alone. Like it's just incredible. The health changes. It's not just about how you look physically. It's how you feel, your energy, your outlook, your self-confidence, your self-esteem. All of that changes when you're dialed into the type of planning that Tammy's put people through. So it's this is what we're bringing.
That's great. Well, and that's important because I think sometimes people try and get into a business and think that they're applying a business model. And at the end of the day, like if you get results for someone, just like if you're a restaurant, you serve a great meal, they're going to tell people about it, and you basically have solved whatever frustration or what they were looking for. So people are looking to get results and change their lives. They're coming in and asking for a membership, but they're really asking for a lifeline.
That's correct.
In a lot of cases. So
That's a great way to put it, Pete.
You better throw that lifeline out and then pull them in and say, hey, look, let's diagnose what you're doing. We just dealt with a group the other day, and it's like, well, we got these great workout programs. I'm like, are people getting results, and are they talking about it? And if they are, that's your marketing.
That's
like,
right,
just
man.
stop right there.
That's
like,
right.
There's nothing sexy about that except for that person want to lose 40 pounds, and they did your program, and they lost 40 pounds. That's the marketing.
That's right.
And they're going to pay for it because they know that they can get it. So,
right. And that's why, like, marketing-wise, you will not see us putting out, join now and get zero enrollment, and here's your discounted dues. That's not what this is about. It's about selling a lifestyle change, and for people that really want to make a change, we're going to do that for you. That's what Gold's Gym is all about. That's what we love about the brand.
So I'll tell you a quick story, and then we'll wrap up. So there's this group out on the West Coast, and they're in a weight loss industry, and they do these boot camps, and they charge people $495 to get into a 6-week challenge. And then if you do the 6-week challenge and you come, I think you got to come like 3 or 4 days a week. At the end of the 6 weeks, they leave an envelope on the desk with $495 back if you completed the plan. and no one takes the money back.
That's really
because
cool.
they've changed their life,
Yeah.
and they take it and they parlay it into a personal training package or
They saw
membership
value
package
in that.
or a nutrition plan. Because they said, all right, I've already changed my life. Like I'm not.
Right.
This wasn't like a 6-week
Gimmick.
like vacation. Like we're
Yeah,
gonna do this
right.
for 6 weeks, then I'm gonna get back to my shitty life. Like,
Right,
they're
right.
like they've been changed. So,
Yeah.
but they figured out that if I can make someone change and adopt my, we call it a halo lifestyle. If you're going to be outside and healthy and active, then I became the authority on that because I got you to that point where now you actually think that way.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
keep doing what
absolutely.
you're doing.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
definitely send me a guest pass to go in the sports performance area.
Absolutely, we'll make it happen.
Bring my football and my wide receiver gloves and some ointment. So when I get rug burns on the AstroTurf.
Awesome.
So congrats. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for being on.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Pete.
You got it.